This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'll quickly go execute this one and let's see if it is working or not. Yeah,
So
now
Amit,
this
the
is the
test
first
is
one.
executed.
Sorry,
The test was executed.
I didn't get you.
The test you were running that was executed or it's on hold.
So you can execute multiple times from the scratchbook. Okay.
Nee, I am asking like due to screen sharing, the test was not executing or it was executed once you have stopped this call.
Actually, because of the screen sharing, there are some issues. So application is bit laggy.
Okay. So this is from Tosca
So
side.
I just yeah, so it is consuming more resources and because of that. It's a bit laggy, so I just shared it via browser instead of using a desktop application. So recording is in progress. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
now you can see the verification point over here. So we were expecting this, and actual from the application you are getting this. So both the values are getting matched, and your verification is successful. Okay, so this is the use of verify. Okay, now what I want to verify this link is visible or not. Okay, this struck one. So for that, what I will do, I will just make visible equal to true, and the action mode should be verify, and let's execute this again. Let me close the test cases over here. Okay, so you can see it is able to verify the link, and the link is visible, and because of that only it is fetching the value as true. So in this way you can add the verification point in your test cases. So what you have to do whenever you are switching from one tab to another tab, okay, so you have to add a verification point so that like you are switching from this tab to this one. Okay, so you have to add a verification point like first name text is visible or not, or you can add any verification just to make sure that after clicking on this next button you are successfully moving to the next tab. So these are the verification point you can add it in your test cases. Okay, so there will be kind of some scenarios like you want to check that okay the drop down is enabled or not. Okay, like sometime you will going to see uh, you have to select a country, and once you select a country then your state drop down get enabled, correct? So in that scenario you can check all those, like I want to check that this drop down is enabled or not. So I will just go and click on enabled and make it as true. Okay, and if I execute this one, and you have to make the verification input as a verifier. If I run this one, let's see if it is able to. Let me close this one. Okay, let's see if it is able to verify or not. So your make drop down is enabled. So accordingly, you can perform the activity. Okay. Any questions up till now related to input and verify? Anyone? Okay. So I will take it as no. Now my next action mode will be buffer. Okay, what is buffer? Like you are having any application and that application is generating some values like order number or order ID that you want to fetch it. Okay. So in that scenario, what you will going to do? Like I want to fetch that motorcycle insurance. Okay. So I want to buffer this value in some of the variable. So what I have to do? So for doing that, first you have to create a module because I don't have module for this one. So I have to create a module. So for creating a module, what you have to do? Simply go back. You can do a right click and jump to your module. This was my module. First, what I have to do? I have to do a checkout. Do a right click and check out this module and rescan this module to add this missing attribute. So we have not added this attribute in our previous session. So I need this one. So I will going to rescan it and add this attribute in my module. Okay. So I will do a right click and now you will going to get an option of a rescan. You can see. So I'm going to rescan it and add that particular attribute in my module. So you don't have to do it anything. Just make sure that particular page, this page should be open in a browser and automatically it will be able to open that page. It will going to rescan and check that whatever module is already existing, it should get added. Okay, so we have already added this one, so you won't be able to do any modification to the existing one. You can see it's already gray out. Okay, the remaining you can add whatever attributes you want to add, you can add it, but whichever you have already done the addition, you won't be able to do any modification to that. Okay, now what I want to add this one. Let me go to the scanner. And for adding that, what you have to do, you have to do a select on screen. I will just click on this one and hover on this part can see. So once the icon is going to appear, just click it. Now motorcycle insurance get added over here. Okay, I will go to escape mode and maximize it, and now I have to check the property. Okay, so now I am using an inner text over here. So you have to select a certain property which make your element unique. If I remove this value, so it will going to scan it, and like you can see it is appearing in a amber color. The selected item is not unique. So you have to make this unique by selecting any of the unique element. Like it is similar to the XPath. When you are using a selenium and you are using a XPath to make your element unique, the same way we have to select a certain IDs which make your element unique on that particular page. Okay, so I won't be able to select the inner text property because right now I have selected a motorcycle insurance, so it is showing me the motorcycle insurance over here. So if I going to select a camper, so it is going to select a camper insurance, automobile insurance, truck insurance. So with the inner text, you won't be able to identify your element because this text will going to get changed. Now I can see it over here that I can use a ID over here. So selected insurance is the ID, and let's see if it is able to make it unique or not. Now you can see I'm not getting any amber color over here, and the selected item is unique. It means using this ID technical property, you are making this element as a unique one. Okay, if you want, you can rename it over here, insurance type. Okay, and I will going to save this one at the left topmost corner. You get a save button over here, and even you can do a control S, it will go to work. So once you save it, now you can close this window. Your model is saved. Now you can close it, and insurance type is appearing over here. Now I will go back to my test case, and that insurance type is appearing over here. Okay, now I want to buffer this value. So simply what you have to do, you have to select the inner text, and you can type insurance type or any variable, whatever variable you want to add, just add that variable and make the action mode as buffer. Okay, so when you are executing your test cases, so it will going to get saved with the name insurance type in that particular variable. So let me execute this one. Let me close this one. Okay, so execution is completed over here. Let's see. Over here you can see buffer name with insurance type has been set to value motorcycle insurance. So it is able to buffer this value in which variable? In insurance type variable. Okay. So right now you are able to see the values over here. But when you are executing some other values, and this scratch book details will be gone. So where you will be able to find it, you have to go to project, and under setting, under T box, you will going to get the buffer name. So insurance type motorcycle insurance, you will be able to find it. Whatever you will going to buffer, all the buffer will get saved over here under this one. Okay, so if you don't want to navigate to that particular value, so simply what you have to do, go to the tool section at the top and click on buffer viewer. At the rightmost side you will going to get the buffer viewer as well. These are the two way you can view your buffer. Okay, any questions up till now, anyone related to buffer? Okay, I will take it as no. Okay, right now what is happening, I am buffering a values. So I am buffering all the text motorcycle insurance, but my requirement is only vehicle type should get buffered. I don't want insurance and all. Okay, because this will going to get changed. If I select a automobile, it will going to select the automobile insurance, truck insurance. So I don't want the insurance part. Okay, I want to just get the detail of the vehicle. That's it. So for that, what you can do, simply go to your application. Let me create a copy of this one. Okay, now what I want to buffer only a vehicle type. So for that, what you have to do, simply go over here and type curly braces x b. This is called as a dynamic buffer, and you have to write the same way insurance. So it will going to buffer before insurance whatever it appear, it will going to buffer only that particular value. Okay, but the condition is you have to make this as a verify. For using a dynamic buffer, you have to use the action mode as a verify, then only it will be able to buffer your value. Okay, now let's execute this one. Okay, let me select a value or something like that. And now I will going to execute. It will going to save the buffer in a vehicle type. Okay, let me execute this one. Okay, so it is getting filled. Let's see what is happening. Verification has failed. Okay, 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 okay. So we have added it as an input instead of input. Let me rerun this. Now my test cases are getting fast. So let's see. Ensure awake. Okay, let's see. Actual value is this. So now I will go to the tools, buffer viewer and see insurance type. Yeah, vehicle type is motorcycle. So we have used vehicle type to buffer the value. So motorcycle is only getting buffered. Insurance is removed. Okay, that's the use of a dynamic buffer. So on a runtime, if things are not required, you can remove it, and whatever required, you can buffer it. Or if you want to buffer all the values, so simply enter the variable name and make it as a buffer. That's it. For doing a dynamic buffer, you have to make sure that you are using action mode as a verifier. Okay. Any questions up till now? Anyone? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, we move ahead. So this is a buffer. Yeah, someone was come out of the mute. Yeah, please.
Amir, I was asking like, maybe I have missed. So these value which are coming in module like insurance type, make, module, cylinder, number of seats, motorcycles. So
Mm-hmm.
from where we can create these?
Which one? This one?
No, no, the left side values.
These.
These.
These values are coming from the modules. So while scanning a module, so you have to select the attributes, whatever attributes you want to add. Okay, so we want to add all those attributes, and this. So you have attended the yesterday session.
Yeah, yeah. So with the help of scanning, these modules are coming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So in which field you want to perform any operation, so you can in the module you can add it and just drag and drop that particular module over there. That's it.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay. No, no.
Okay. So now this is related to a buffer using an application. There are some standard modules. Okay. In standard modules, if I go over here, click on this one. So these are the buffer operation, which we're going to see in details when we start with the full-fledged session. Okay. So these are having other values you can add it to your application. Right now we are not covering that. Okay, now what we will do, let's see what are the different action modes. So we'll go with a wait on. What wait on will do, like you are having some performance issue with your application. Okay, like this application takes 5 seconds or 10 seconds to get loaded. Okay, so what it will do, it will going to open the URL, and now it will not able to find the particular element. Like I want to click on the motorcycle, and that element is not present because it is still loading. So in that case, it will going to get failed. Okay, so instead of adding a static wait of 5 seconds or 10 seconds, what you can do, you can use a wait on. So what static wait will do, it will going to wait for certain values, like your element can appear in 5 seconds, or it can appear in 1 second, or it can appear in 10 seconds. So if you are providing any static wait in your application, it will going to get the chances of getting failed is more. Okay. So whenever you are using a wait on, what it will do, it will going to keep on get pulling and check your element, that element is present or not. Okay, for the particular duration. So by default, the timing is 30 seconds. So it will going to check for that element for 30 seconds continuously. Once that element will going to appear, automatically the next step will going to perform. Okay. So if you have worked on Selenium, so it is similar to a fluent wait. In that, it will going to keep on iterating and check that element is present or not for that particular duration. If it is not able to find that element within that time range, so it will going to show you that element not found, and it will going to get quit. Okay, so that's the use of wait on. So what I want, like I want these elements to be visible. Okay, so please wait for this element unless and until this element will be visible. So I'll just put a wait on. So make sure that whenever you are switching or launching any page or you are navigating to the certain page, you have to add the first attribute as a wait on. Okay, so that it will going to wait for your page to be get loaded so that you can the remaining activity should get performed. If you're going to add a wait on over here and something at the bottom, so it will not going to work for you, because at the time of reloading your pages it is taking too much time, and over there your discussion is getting filled, so it will not go come over here. It is executing from the top to bottom. So you have to make sure that wait on should be added when you are navigating to the new page or new tabs, or your uh, asynchronous call is happening, that kind of thing. Okay, so at the time of browser launch only I have added, like, this link will be visible, then you can move ahead. If I execute this one, okay, so you can see the wait on was successful, so your element was visible at that point of time, and then it proceed further to do the execution. So this way you can use a wait on in your test cases. If I go to the settings, if you want to change the settings, by default 30 seconds will be there, and if you want to do the modification like 40 seconds or 50 seconds or even more, so you can do the modification in the settings section. You will going to get an option of synchronization. Yeah, you can see, sorry, this is 20 seconds, so I have reduced to 20 seconds. Okay, so if you want to increase the time, you can increase it. These values are in milliseconds, so this is 20 seconds. If you want to go with 60 seconds, you have to enter it as a 60,000 over here. Okay, but we have to make sure that if you are adding this one, so it will going to wait for every element for 60 seconds. Okay, make sure that you are adding a proper values over here. So if you're going to wait for every element for 60 seconds in your application, if you are increasing the values or whatever values you are adding. Okay, so any questions up till now? Okay, so if we don't have any questions, so now we will go with select will be used when you are using a parent element. Okay, so we will this action, we're going to see this action mode when we are going to use the API. Okay, API testing we are going to use. At that point of time I will going to explain you how we can use a select. So select is not applicable over here. Now we can use a constraint. So constraint is mostly used. What is constraint? Constraint is used to limit your search. Like you are having any value to, okay, let me go to, okay, you are having this Excel. So in this Excel, what is happening? Like you can see, demo, last name demo is there. Okay, and I want to buffer this tosca.demo@gmail.com. So what I will do, I will going to put a constraint over there. The first name should be Tosca and the second last name should be demo. So if both the values are getting matched, then you have to buffer the email ID of that particular row. Okay. So constraint is used to limit your search. If I make it as a Tosca, first name Tosca as a constraint in action mode and last name as a demo as a constraint, so it will going to search for these two values. Wherever it will be able to find that particular value, it will going to buffer it. Okay. Any questions up till now? Anyone?
Amir, like if the values are dynamically changing, so will that work?
Even that will going to work as well. So it will going to check for that wherever it will be able to find that both the values, it will going to buffer the value. The first occurrence it will going to capture. Okay.
Okay. So and one
So
more
that's the
thing,
use
you
of,
said like wait on, right? I think. So wait on is used to like
yeah.
if any step is taking more time. So that time can we use the wait on or like
So yeah, you have to use the wait on wherever there is this taking some time. Okay, it is taking time to load or some asynchronous call is happening. Okay, your page is getting refreshed or loaded. So at that point of time, instead of adding a static wait of 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you can use a wait on.
and so what
Okay,
is the use
because
of
you are
this
not
synchronization?
sorry.
Then what is the use of this synchronization? So
So this will going to synchronize your test result. So synchronization timeout. Okay. So it will going to synchronize with your application that okay, it will going to still pull for that particular duration, whatever synchronization timeout you will going to add, it will going to pull for that particular duration. So if you are using a static wait of 5 seconds and in 5 seconds your element will not going to appear, it will going to fail. Okay. And if your element is appearing in 1 second, so still you have to wait for 4 more seconds. In that point of time, your execution time will get increased, correct?
yeah,
So what wait on will do, it will keep on pulling and check that whenever that application element will going to get visible, then the next step will going to get proceeded. So instead of adding a static wait, you can use this wait on to avoid the static wait in your application.
okay. So then synchronizations compares between like Tosca's time and application time as per my understanding. Is it correct? Like,
No, 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 no. So synchronization means it will going to keep on pulling, synchronize with your application and check that element is appearing or not. So you can see over here synchronization timeout. If the element will not going to appear for that particular time, it will going to get failed. So that is called as a synchronization. So I go
okay,
to the T box over here. You see, let me show you. Maximum time used to finding and steering the control in case of unsuccessful wait on. If the wait on is not successful, so it will going to wait for 20 seconds and it will going to get failed. If it is not able, that element is not appearing or the checkbox is not getting enabled. Okay, that is called as a synchronization timeout during wait on. Okay,
okay.
okay. Anything else? Okay, so these are the action modes we will going to use it, and we will going to see in more details when we are doing the when we start with the automation part. Okay, so for demo, I will quickly going to do the API testing. Okay, so for API testing, I will going to use a sample. Let me go to request. Mm, Let me go to the site. Okay, so this is a sample site. I'm going to use it. Okay, so you can get all the APIs with these are the dummy APIs. So please, when you are using it, don't insert any personal information over here. Okay, so this is your get API list all users, and you can see all the details are getting pasted over here. So what I will do, I will simply copy this URL. Okay, and now I have to do a API testing for this. So I will go to the API testing tab. You can see at the top. So this is the API testing tab, and click on API scan. So API scanner will get opened. Okay, now I want to do the scanning. So I already have a URL. So I will going to click on this URI. Okay, it will going to ask me for the URI. So what I will do, instead of doing that, I will go with this one. And till dot in, I will going to put it as an endpoint, and the remaining part will be added to the resources. Okay, this is the request part. Let me maximize it. This is the request part, and once I run this one, it will give me the response part. So right now response part is blank because we have not sent the request, correct? So if I run this one, now you can see I'm able to get the response. Now the tab gets switched to the response over here. Okay, now I already have a request and the response part. Now I want to create a test case come out of this. So for that, what you have to do, simply click on API test case. So it will going to ask you to check out the parent folder. Change are not allowed to allowed for item API scan import. Please perform a checkout first. So you have to check out the parent folder. So where is my parent folder? Go to the project, and you will going to get this parent folder. So I will going to check out this one. Unless and until you will not want to check out, it won't be able to add the component over here. Now I will do a import, so automatically your request, still it is not able to check out. Why? Check out not allowed for the API. Let me run this again. Why this is happening? Let me resend this one. Okay, let's go back to the API testing. Click on API scan. Okay, the same way I will going to put the uh-oh. Okay, I will going to run this one, and now I will going to import this. Okay, so import is completed. You can see over here. So module and test cases both get added over here. Now what I have to do, I have to parameterize my test cases. You can see there is no modules over here. So I have to create a module. For creating a module, what we have to do? Simply click on this one and click on add. So once you click on add, it will going to add the method. Now I want the endpoint. So click on endpoint. Endpoint will get added. I want the resources. The resources will also get added. Same, go to the response and add the module. So I want the whole payload should be added in this one. So you can see page per page, total, page and data. Under data, you will going to get all the values. Item. These are the repeated values. So you can add n number of time. ID, email, first name, last name, avatar. Okay. Now I want to verify the status code as well. So I will going to add a status code over here. Okay. Now my module is created. Now I want to perform the test over here. Simply I go to this one and you can see you're going to get the values endpoint. So whatever you have scanned, you're going to automatically get the endpoint. And in future, if you want to change it, you can change it from here as well. Now, once I hit this one request, what response I should get? So I will go back to the data and let's verify the data. I want to verify these data like ID 7, ID should be 7, and then we have Michael Lawson. Okay, Michael Lawson, Michael, last name Lawson, avatar, what is the avatar? It's 7 image. Now I will going to execute this one and just you can see now now I will going to explain you the use of select. So whenever you are using some child element, automatically the parent element will be selected as a select. Okay, because you are not using this one, you are using a child element of this one. So if I close this one, so the people will going to get an impression nothing is inside this one. Okay, just to give you the impression that okay something is there under this child element. If I collapse this one, okay, and nothing will be there over here, so it will give you an impression that okay this is a blank one. So just to give the impression that okay there is some values under the child element of this one, the action mode will be select over here. So I expand this one and under ID name all this I need to verify. So action mode will be verified. Now what I will going to execute my test cases. So single module if you are executing it will not going to work because this will going to work in a pair. So request and response should get executed in a test case, then only it is going to fetch you the result. So if I run this one and let's see if it is able to fetch the value and verify or not. Okay, so I am getting a, yeah, the test case got passed, so it is able to send the request and we got the response. If I expand this one, verification is successful, 7 expected the same way. Now let's do some negative testing. I will change the value. Instead of 7, I will going to make it as 8. So this should get filled. Now you can see my test has got filled. Now let's verify. You can see under the ID. So we were expecting 8. Okay. So it is able to find the values as 8, but the values are different. You can see listen producer. So if I go back, Michael Lawson we were expecting, but the ID 8 is giving me this one. So by this way your test will got filled. Okay. Any questions up till now? And the same way, if you want to verify the remaining values, so what you have to do, simply add more values to it. This one, go item. Okay, select the next value, ID 8, ID 9, and you can put n number of times over here. So all the values under this one will get verified in one shot. Okay, so we're going to see how we're going to add a token and all. Then we will start with our training. How to add the headers, how to add the token, bearer token and all. We're going to see how to make a request for post and put and all. Okay, anyone is having any issue or not able to understand anything? Anyone?
Amit, can you please share the recordings?
Yeah, sure. We're going to share the recordings with you. Both the recordings will be shared yesterday and as well as for today as well.
Okay.